Hey y'all, Bloodwing here, back to bring some grumpiness to your internet. Welcome back to Redneck Radio, the live stream where you get an extra healthy side helping of deep fried hush puppies. Ooh, I love hush puppies. The first thing you will probably notice today is that sadly I shot and killed Bear and buried him in my backyard. No, no, really. He had some things he had to do today, so he told me yesterday he wasn't going to be able to make it today. But with me to help me out today is Madwoman Muse. Say hi, Manny.
Hey, hey.
Y'all are familiar with Muse, so this should be all good, all
Yep.
good. But before we get rolling, let me please ask that you like and share the stream because you know YouTube's not going to help it with that anymore.
Mm-mm.
And if you'd like to go a step further, there's super chat and there's links for my Streamlabs and my Patreon in the description.
That's right.
So, hey, Vanilla, hey. So what's new with Muse?
Oh my goodness. I already got a blog post out this morning. I am kind of working on a script for a news video, but other than that, not much. Not much. Um, Ronan, however, is in talks with another trucking company that looks like they may be letting him in on the owner operator side.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they've showed him a load board and stuff, and he's found a couple. They've showed him a couple of loads that were like $3 and $4 a mile, which would be about a couple of $1,000 a day worth of income.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's and since he's been an owner op before, I've got the utmost confidence that he'll be able to handle that, and we'll actually be able to get furniture in here other than a 4-foot table, two lawn chairs, and coffee maker.
Trust me, believe it or not, even though we've been here for like 15 years, we haven't got much more furniture than that in our house. We just don't have a lot of furniture.
Yeah, my mom called me yesterday and she was talking and she goes, "Do you have a Keurig or an espresso machine?" I said, "No, I can't say that we do. The only appliance that we have that didn't already come with the apartment is a coffee maker." She goes, "Okay, because your father and his gadgets, he found a 3-in-1, so now we have appliances we're not using."
When I was looking for a coffee maker, I actually seen one that was kind of cool because I like gadgets. I
Yeah.
wouldn't need anything like it, but I thought it was cool. It was a part coffee maker, although it only made 4 cups, part toaster oven. I'm like,
Oh
I've
wow.
never seen that before, but thank you, Willie Ham, for the donation. Buy a Peterbilt, he said.
Yeah, yeah, those are his favorite make of truck. So I wouldn't doubt that he is trying his best to get his butt in a Pete.
Yeah. Mr. Monopoly says, can I say goat thrapple? Yes, but no one can say it better than Scribe. I'm sorry.
Right? He has a way with words. And last night I was teasing people because I put a picture of like an 8-ounce flat iron steak that I had seasoned and was getting ready to sear.
Oh,
So yeah, I keep telling everybody that as soon as I get everything set up in the kitchen, I'll start doing cooking videos. But we don't have all the stuff I need yet.
yeah.
Yet.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of furniture. I mean, other than the beds, of course, and
Yeah.
dressers, stuff like that. In my living room now, we have the recliner I'm sitting in, the plastic lawn chair that my wife sits in, and a half broken dining chair sitting right by a folding card table, and that's our furniture. We just don't need a lot, you know.
Yeah.
So no, Sean Bear isn't here. He told me yesterday that he was going to go out with his brother-in-law today, and I know you guys have got used to seeing Bear, but and you probably don't know our deal when we first started this is he would help me out for first little while because at the time he's expecting he might get a job and he wouldn't be able to help me out long. So he's been doing this with me a whole lot longer than what I had thought he would be able to. So, um, yeah, uh, it, don't expect him to be here forever, because that wasn't part of the deal. It just kind of happened that way. But thankfully, we have friends like Maddie that helps me out because I'm a world class procrastinator. I knew he wasn't going to be here yesterday, and I just kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off until the last minute. I literally sent her a link
Yeah.
like the a second before the stream started.
Yeah, and a DM. Are you busy? I need a co-host if Bear can't make it. Okay.
I am a terrible procrastinator. I always have been. Terrible, 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 terrible. I just don't like to. I don't know. I feel funny in asking people to come on because then they feel obligated in case they really don't wanna, but they feel
Yeah.
obligated, so they'll say yeah just because I asked them. I'm probably overthinking that, but that's the way I think.
Oh no, I love being on a stream with you and hanging out with Papa. It's always fun hanging out with Papa.
Well, I'm glad you think so. So far, my grandkids think so, but a few of them are getting to that age where it's just not cool to hang out with Papa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
All
they're,
right.
they're not there yet, so I'll enjoy it while I can. Um, Viper says bear with a job. Nah, that's. I don't think that's what he's doing today. I think he's just having a night out with his
Yeah.
brother-in-law. But when we originally discussed, and he talked to me, him and Dax, they were the two that were the biggest that taught me into doing this stream. They that was the deal, that he would help me out for as long as he could, but he didn't think that would be more than a few weeks. Well, I'm not sure how long it's been because I haven't numbered them or kept track, but it's been a lot longer than a few weeks. It's been a couple of months now.
Yeah.
So, and Pat says your Patball Budwing. Of course, we're gonna come on.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, I was tripping around on my government accounts lists, and I found a couple of things that I responded to, I retweeted and responded to. One is, people still got to be reminded not to leave children and pets in cars.
Oh, I was thinking about that the other day. Actually, it was the last stream I was going to mention it, but I got distracted and forgot. I do look through the news before these streams to see if anything jumps out at me, and yeah, I keep seeing all these stories of kids being left in the car already, and this is just barely the end of May, folks.
Yep.
Don't do that. Don't, don't, don't.
Yeah. It's like I retweeted hhs.gov and they tweeted, never leave infants or children in a parked car. Temperatures inside can rise almost 20 degrees Fahrenheit within the first 10 minutes, even with a window cracked open. And I responded by going, I can't believe we still have to remind idiots not to leave living beings in a hot car. Whether it's a child or a pet, you deserve getting your windows broken and your ass kicked if you leave them in a hot car.
Yeah, well, it amazes me that this has to be repeated every year. I
Right?
mean, I'm an old guy. That's no mystery to you all. And as long as I can remember, this has happened every summer. Some moron has left their kids or their dogs or cats or what have you in the hot car, and yeah, that's not a good thing.
There was one guy that went viral a few years back because he decided with a dash cam trained on himself that he was going to record what it was like in a car with the windows up in the middle of the summer.
He didn't last long, did he?
No, he did not last long in that car at all.
Yeah, it turns into an oven real quick with the windows up. And folks, if you're in that big of a hurry, or if you're, I remember when my kids were small, I just didn't go places I couldn't bring my kids inside with me.
Yeah.
And I get it. You're in a hurry. You don't want to have to deal with it, but that's part of being a parent.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You just you bring them in,
Mhm.
and hold their hand, and you don't leave them out in the hot car. I'm just amazed that people need to be told this, especially since it's not something new. It happens every stinking summer.
It does, and it's just you would think that by now we wouldn't have to keep reminding these people that this crap happens, but apparently every year there's a new brand of stupid.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I guess you can't fix stupid. Thank you, Willingham, again for the donation. Mom would leave us in the hot car, but left the keys with us. One time, my brother dropped the keys down the steering column. Yeah, my mom would leave us out in the car on occasion, like if she used to have to go to the doctor a lot. And for when I was about 10 or 11, her doctor was just a few blocks from here. It was very local. So she would leave us out in the car while she went into the doctor, but she left the windows down and left the keys in the car, right? Unfortunately, I used to like to sit behind the wheel of and I remember we had a 1968 Volkswagen bus at the time with a 4-speed shifter on the floor. And I used to like to sit behind the wheel of the car and pretend I was driving. And was doing that one day while she was in the doctor's office, and reached down to pretend to shift the vehicle. And instead of pretending, I actually shifted it into neutral. It's on an incline, and it, of course, rolled back into busy 2-lane traffic. Mom was not happy. Nobody hit us or nothing, bad happened other than my hide got tanned for playing with the shifter.
Yeah, I remember when my dad was teaching me how to drive, and it was I was taking driver's ed in school, and my dad would have me out there. When I got to my first vehicle was actually in 1985. Mitsubishi pickup truck was 5-speed. So, my dad was teaching me how to drive the stick. And there was this hill in our neighborhood with a stop sign at the top of the hill. So you could just imagine the problems I was having trying not to stall the thing out on the hill so I could, just make my turn and go back to the house. After about the third time this happened, my dad said, just drop me off at the house, go around the neighborhood, get used to it, and then come back when you've gotten used to it. I said, all right, okay, I can do that. There's another 20 minutes of going up and down hills and around curves and everything in the neighborhood. And then I finally got into the driveway, and parked it the way I was supposed to park it and go in. And my mom said, so? I said, I got the hang of it. Everything's shifting smooth. And she goes, oh, good. That means your father owes me $20. I said, what do you mean? She said, he'd bet me $20 that you'd grind the gearbox out before you learn how to drive a stick.
Well, I had to learn on a stick because that's all we had at the time I learned to drive. Actually, I had been sort of kind of driving cars since I was 10 years old. Before we moved, we we moved once when I was a kid, next door. That's the only time we moved. For the first 10 years of my life, we lived in this one house that had a really, really long driveway. And at the age of 10, we moved next door. And that's the house that my dad still owns today. So we didn't move around a lot when I was younger. But since we had a really long driveway, Dad would let me drive back the cars back and forth, even at the age of 10, up and down the driveway, as long as I didn't go out on the road.
Yeah.
It was a different time back then, folks. You could get away with stuff like that. But yeah, when I got 15 years old and was starting to seriously learn to drive, we had that Volkswagen van I talked about forever. I mean, for like 20 years, we had that thing. So we had that, and we had a 1966 Chevy 2 station wagon with a 3 on the tree, which for you younger guys that have never heard that, there's a 3-speed stick shift on the column.
Yep.
And yeah, I had no choice. If I wanted to learn to drive, that's what I had to learn on.
Yeah, I had to. I learned in my pickup. My dad had a 1976 Datsun King Cab pickup truck, where King Cab meant 6 extra inches behind the seats.
Right.
So yeah, I learned on that before I got my Mitsubishi pickup truck, but it was just hilarious because he goes, "Do you want to learn how to drive your mom's or mine?" I said, "Well, I want to learn how to drive yours just in case." And that translated into me teaching my son how to drive a stick shift. And he asked me, he goes, "Well, why are you teaching me how to drive a stick shift?" I said, "Son, I'm teaching you this because once you learn how to drive a stick, you'll know what to listen for. So when something is off in your automatic transmission, you will know it and you can go to the garage and get it fixed before it gets too bad."
Yeah. Yeah. Brian Donovan in the chat is right. And hey, Brian, I did see you come in. I just couldn't say hi right at that point. Uh, Automatics had been around for a long time by that point, and some were push button. In fact, my cousin had an old Ford Thunderbird, which was a push button automatic. Hated that thing because those push buttons were really hard to push. They hurt my thumb. Mr. Monopoly, I really don't know how many years they'd been around since then, but they'd been around quite a while. We just didn't own one at the time. Thank you again, Willingham, for the donation. My friend just said, "Hey, drive me home," and I did. No drama to me learning and no good stories. Well, that's a nice ending is a nice ending. But yeah, all they had was those two stick shift cars when I came up. And of course, I took driver's ed at school because in my state, you could get your driver's license a few months earlier if you took driver's ed, and it's also was cheaper on your insurance. I think that part is still true. Um, but we had these. They had a driver's ed room, and it was full of these driving simulators. You sat down in them, and they played like a film on the wall in the front of the classroom, and you drove to it. To that film, but they could be switched over from automatic to manual. I was one of the few in the class that had to come in and switch mine to manual. But I don't even know if they do that part anymore. Gosh, that's big. Of course, it backfired on me. I ended up getting in trouble, and my dad told me I couldn't get my driver's license for 6 months. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, so it backfired. But yeah, those were the days. But yes, folks, please. Good Lord. It doesn't take a genius to figure out don't leave your kids and animals in the car with the windows up in the summertime. It just, in a matter of minutes, it becomes a literal oven.
Yep.
Uh, what else you been up to? Anything?
Well, I've been looking because you know me, when I start looking at what's come out of the government stuff, I inevitably find stuff out of the Department of Justice that they cornily call justice news. I'm not kidding. That's what they call it.
All right.
And let's see. For immediate release, the DOJ has released a statement saying Mandeville, Louisiana neurologist pleads guilty for role in scheme to unlawfully dispense controlled substances and to commit healthcare fraud. So it says, let me see, and namely oxycodone and hydrocodone without performing required face-to-face examinations and his role in a scheme to commit healthcare fraud. And then, as usual, the next paragraph is everybody involved, which is 20 million names. It said, Anil Prasad, MD 62, pleaded guilty before the U.S. District Judge Jane Trish Malazzo of Eastern District of Louisiana to one count of conspiracy to unlawfully distribute and dispense controlled substances and one count of conspiracy to commit healthcare fraud. Sentencing is set for September 4th of this year before the same judge. Yeah. So, and people wonder why our healthcare system's so screwed up. You got
Oh, well, it hasn't been good for a long time. And of course, as most of us know, it got even worse under Obama. But that I'm not going to go off on that. If I start going off on Obamacare, I will rant for hours because screw you, Mr. Obama.
yeah. I'll be right there with you because I remember my mom calling me and telling me she went on the website, followed all the directions, read everything that she had to read in order to properly fill the stuff out, and they told her it would be over $700 a month and she didn't qualify for any subsidies.
Yeah.
And I went, "Isn't that most of your Social Security check?" She went, "Yeah."
Yep. Yeah, folks, because take it from me, somebody that's very close to Social Security age. I have 6 years before I can get it. I could get it now if I wanted to, but it would be at a lesser rate. I would have to take a cut amount if I took it early. But so 65. But I am trying to get disability. People that are on Social Security and disability don't get a lot of money. It's not much.
And then there are people like me that were like, "Well, I that's too expensive for me to afford, so you just take the penalty money out of my refund check, please." Because that's cheaper than having to pay for it.
Yeah, basically what happened, without going off on a long rant, when Obamacare came into effect, yeah, a lot of the lowest of the low income people in America were able to get insurance, but those of us in the middle got screwed. Ours went up to the point you almost can't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it stayed there. I went from a nice HMO that had, no deductibles, no, $15 office visits, $10 prescriptions to, like $1,000 deductible. That's how much I got to pay before they even start to chip in, and just it's just a mess, a mess. But yeah, hopefully that gets fixed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope so too. Oh goodness, this is a story you would think would come out of Florida, but no, this is a Jersey man story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, headline: Police. Man drove drunk to pick up woman charged with DWI.
Read that again now. I was
Man drove.
distracted for a second.
Okay, man drove drunk to pick up woman charged with DWI.
Okay.
He,
Before you get too far in that, thank you again, Willingham, for the donation. Obamacare screwed my family out of $10K a year. We also don't have much money. I do, but not my parents. Yeah, I hear you. That's the way it worked for a lot of us. So a guy drives drunk to pick up his friend or significant other that had been
charged
charged
with a
with DW.
DW. Yep. Was it, authorities say a man drove drunk to a New Jersey police station where he was picking up a woman who had been charged with drunk driving. Hackettstown police say 21-year-old Morgan Doran of Netcong, I guess, was arrested early Friday after a traffic stop. She was taken to the station where authorities say she contacted 24-year-old Sebastian Rem of Washington Township, Morris County, to pick her up. When Rem arrived at the station, authorities say he smelled of alcohol and they charged him with drunk driving. Both of them were eventually released to another driver. It wasn't known Friday if either Doran or Rem has retained an attorney. You're going to a police station. Why are you going to go drunk?
Yeah, yeah. Well, here in my state, I don't think they would have got released so quickly. I mean, my only experience was that with that was when I was picked up when I was 18, and I spent the night in jail when that happened. So I'd be surprised if they got released here that quickly. But yeah, if your friends are there for DWI, it's probably a good idea if you don't drink before you go to pick them up.
Right? Most people would think that's a no-brainer, but
Opinionated Scotsman wears bear. He is having a night out with his brother-in-law. He told me yesterday he wasn't going to be able to make it, but yeah, he's out having a good time, and good on him. According to our agreement on this stream, he is in no way, shape, or form obligated to be here every day. It's just kind of worked out that way. I invited him for the first one, and he just kept coming back.
oh my God. Okay. This is like clout chasing. Fugitive says he'll surrender if people like wanted poster.
Do what?
Fugitive says he'll surrender if people like wanted poster. This is out of Hartford, Connecticut.
Thank you. Are you sure for the donation? Just because. Well, thank you. Just because. I do appreciate it. I think I heard. I was I was listening to Bob and Tom on the radio the other morning, and I think I heard at least part of this.
Okay. Dax got some of it right. This is the Connecticut Police Department has reached a deal with a fugitive that would have him surrender if enough people respond to a wanted poster on social media. An agreement that at least one expert calls unethical. You don't say. Jose Sims, 29, who's believed to be somewhere in New York, has 7 arrest warrants and is being sought as a fugitive after failing to appear in court on charges that range from breach of peace to risk of injury to a child. Torrington Police Lieutenant Brett Johnson posted on the department's Facebook page Wednesday that Sims had contacted him through the social media site and agreed to turn himself in if the post containing his poster gets 15,000 likes. Johnson said he negotiated Sims down from 20,000 likes. It will be difficult, but is doable, Johnson wrote. He also suggested that if anyone knows where Sims is hiding, they could let the police know and save the department some suspense. But Mackie Haberfield, an expert in police ethics and procedure at the John Jay College of Criminal Justice, said Sims is using social media to manipulate both the news media and police, who she said have no business negotiating a deal with a suspect, never mind one that involves likes on Facebook. It turns this into a joke, she said. People will start looking at these various violations of law as a game. Sims, contacted by the Associated Press through Facebook, said he is serious about the offer. I wanted to give them a little incentive for all the hard work they put in to catch me, he wrote. Wow. Okay.
All right.
Oh my God. Sims said the charges stem from domestic problems and he is tired of running from authorities. Then turn yourself in without the likes. I mean, just, save all the trouble. Looking over your shoulder every 5 seconds can cause a lot of stress. No shit. Torrington police did not immediately respond to a request for further comment. Sims said he is prepared to live up to his end of the agreement, insisting he is a man of my word. Really? You didn't show up for court. Haberfield said Sims is clearly getting a lot of attention, and that is exactly what he wants. This is 100% manipulation, she said, and for police, it's not an ethical thing to do. And that's the end of the article.
Yeah, I did hear part. I'm talking about this, and as I recall, they did reach the 15,000 likes or whatever it was, and he still didn't turn himself in. So wasn't good on his word, was he?
No, I mean, he didn't show up for court. So for me, from the get-go, him saying he's the man of his word doesn't mean anything when you don't even show up for your court date.
Yeah. He was just looking for attention.
Yeah.
Is what it amounted to. But I think it's funny that the police department had a sense of humor about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, you want to play this game? We'll play. We're going to get you. But we'll play it.
Mm-hmm.
I assume that many of you have heard the story about the woman in Hawaii that was lost for 17 days
No, I
and
didn't hear that one.
just recently got rescued. She was lost in the forest in Hawaii. And I heard about this again on Bob and Tom this morning, and I had to look this up because I'm like, really? And I guess on a side note, in a separate incident in Hawaii, a hiker has just been found dead. So yeah,
Mm.
but this lady survived for 17 days off of berries and whatever she could find in the Hawaiian forest. Um, Let me get this open. You know my slow computer, guys. All right. Come on now. Here we go. 3 weeks ago, Amanda Eller felt drawn to go to the, I don't know how to pronounce this, Makawao, 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 Makawao Forest Reserve on the Hawaiian island of Maui. I do know how to pronounce Maui because they used to grow a lot of marijuana there. Um, Island of Maui to connect with nature and get grounded. She had rarely been to that park and hadn't been in months, but that day she was called to go. The 35-year-old physical therapist who had a whole day to herself figured she'd go for a 3-mile hike and spend a couple of hours in the woods. I don't really know what happened, she said Tuesday morning, speaking to reporters while in a wheelchair. All I can say is that I have a strong sense of internal guidance, whatever you want to call that, a voice, spirit. Everybody has a different name for it. My heart was telling me, walk down this path, go left, great, go right. It was so strong. She said it turned out to be not nearly as strong when, after meditating on a log, she wanted to go back to her car. She tried one path and it didn't get her back to her car. She tried another, no luck, and another. She came to the realization she wasn't on a human path. She was on a boar path. At that point, I had no choice because everything looked the same. I said, the only thing I have is my gut. I don't have a compass. I don't have a cell phone, which is odd in this day and age, she said.
Mhm.
So, spirit, or whatever you want to pray to, I said, I need your help right now. She said she listened to her sense of guidance, which, instead of taking her back to her car, took her on a 5-mile journey, one she called a spiritual boot camp. I'm sorry, people, but you understand what she's saying? She's basically saying that she got lost because she was hearing voices.
It's the epitome of I do what the voices in my head tell me to.
And she's what did she say she done? A physical therapist. How much you want to bet she's a vegan?
Oh, I wouldn't
She's a
doubt it.
vegan with crystals, like yeah, like my internal aura was so green and was telling me to walk this way.
Yeah. Oh, it's like that lady that says, I can survive on the energy of the universe and the rays from the sun, just waiting for you to die from starvation.
Okay, let's see. It does go on for a little bit here. Eller ended up spending 17 days in the woods trying to get back to her car and then just trying to stay alive and catch the attention of searchers in helicopters. She spent 2 days in a Maui hospital being treated for severe sunburn, a twisted knee, and ankle problems before she went home Monday night. She hopes to be back at work in 2 weeks. Eller thinks the days she spent alone in the woods, surviving on berries and stream water, is part of something bigger, something that has been changing her life since she moved to Maui 4 years ago. I'm sorry, but this lady's stupid. Yeah. It taught the physical therapist who often treats people in great pain what it is like to be on the patient's side. Eller, who is also a yoga teacher, imagine my shock, said she would get down and feel like a victim. This
Oh,
is not your punishment. This is your destiny. This is your journey. This is part of your path, she said.
oh my God.
She said she eventually accepted that this would be a gauntlet of painful endeavors and she had to choose life. Eller said she would find things she could use to spell out SOS, and she'd hang pieces of clothing where it could be seen from the air. But as helicopters passed over, she estimated there were at least 20 times they were nearby, they couldn't see her. Until on Friday evening, when a helicopter surveying areas to put search crews into the forest spotted her. Yeah, and after reading this, they probably said, "Oh crap, she's seen us."
Probably.
She had been sitting on a rock, frying in the sun, and here came another helicopter. But she saw someone pointing at her. I just fell to the ground and just started bawling, she said. In hindsight, Eller said that even though she hates cell phones, she should have taken hers with her into the forest. You think?
You think? You think?
She also will take a water bottle next time. Why would you ever go on a hike without a water bottle?
Because she's like totally stupid and she wasn't like thinking what she was doing before she did it. Because she was like listening to the voices in her head. Because it's like a spiritual journey and like she didn't think she needed water because the universe would like sustain her.
It's so spiritual. And you should see my aura now. It's so healthy. The next time, though, in this park won't be anytime soon, she said, laughing. Oh.
That's like the first time I got on this platform and I was listening to some of the response videos to some of these bedroom feminists. The first impression I got was, holy shit, they're 21st century Valley girls.
Yeah, Brian Donovan says that Valley Girl voice you're trying to do is hysterical. I've admitted many times on this stream I cannot do voices and accents. I just can't. No matter what I do, I sound like a redneck trying to do that kind of accent.
Yeah, I grew up in the 80s, so I grew up around girls that talk like that. So it's like nothing for me to like change into it because like totally gross and stuff. And like, you know, the girls were like always talking about their hair and how big they could get it and how much makeup they could plaster on their face. So it like became no big deal.
Monkey does one very well too.
Yeah.
Scarily well. I've mentioned that to him before. You do that too well. Thank you again, Willingham, for the donation. They made her seem sane of is it CBS. I'm sorry. I'm having a little trouble seeing from where I'm sitting. So but Brian Diamond says that's why it's funny. I'm just not very good at it. But come on, lady. You didn't take any water. You didn't take your cell phone. You couldn't have been very far from your car to begin with if you just took a little walk.
Oh god. She wasn't paying attention where she was going either, apparently.
Yeah. Jiminy Christmas. I mean, I've mentioned before, I think it was the last one. I've got a very good sense of direction, especially out in the woods or out in the country or wherever. A very good one. And I'm not a half bad tracker anyway. Coming from I'm a redneck. We hunt. We learn to track. That's what we do. And but good grief, even I wouldn't go out in the middle of the forest like that unprepared.
Exactly.
Just because I'm hearing some inner voice. Hey, lady, next time that voice talks to you, tell it to shut up. It's an idiot.
Yeah. Reach for your antipsychotics. Maybe that'll help.
Oh, good grief. Oh.
Only I have to tone down the Glaswegian just to be understood. Yeah, he has a thick accent.
Yeah. Well, people don't normally have too much of a trouble understanding me, except for my voice to text. because I'm a really bad texter, as I've mentioned, and I use voice to text on my phone, but it doesn't like my redneck accent. You wouldn't believe some of the things it comes up with. No, that's not what I said. Uh, 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 yeah, Mama Manny, exactly. One of those voices should have told her to watch the moss on the trees. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Teresa Kid says, I don't run to Walmart without my water bottle. Yeah. I mean, I don't particularly like water. I'm one of them people that just, I don't like it. I know it's good for me. I just don't drink a lot of just water because I just don't like it.
Yeah.
But I've always got a bottle of Mountain Dew with me, even when I'm out in the car. Voice to text shouldn't exist. Hey, it's there for people with slow, clumsy thumbs like mine. Because if my kids had to wait for me to actually type out a text, it would take hours to get through a simple text conversation. Yeah, I am bad. Just ask Mama Minnie. Can't do it. All right, what else we got here? I had laid down for a nap. Not only did I procrastinate, but I took a nap and didn't wake up till almost time for the stream. So I'm really prepared today, guys. See what kind of professional I am? I are a professional. Let's see what we got here. If anything steps out and jumps out at me, I don't want anything sad.
It's like there's some people that are the critics are giving Godzilla like mixed reviews, and some of them are complaining that there aren't enough like character, as in person interactions in the movie. And I'm like, it's a Godzilla movie. It's a monster movie with people in it, not a people movie with monsters in it.
Yeah, I mean, since when has anybody took a Godzilla movie seriously?
Right.
I mean, I grew up watching the Japanese Godzilla,
Yep.
which is so obviously a guy in a suit,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Well, except for the first one out of the 50s. The one that started it all. That the American version, they later added in scenes with Raymond Burr in it to Americanize it.
Yeah.
He was not in the original cut of the movie. But anything after that was so obviously a guy in a suit, but that was part of the charm. It was just hilarious. You know, even as a kid, I recognized that, man, this is great.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, monkey.
Hey, monkey.
Sorry, I'm late. You sent that as I was rearranging my room.
You were rearranging your room?
Yeah, probably not the best idea. I hurt like fuck right now.
Yeah, I would think. What were you doing? Trying to clear a path so you could fall down the stairs and not hit anything?
No, I was I got this new mic and it's highly sensitive, so I was turning my desk so it's pointed to a closer wall. Oh. So it's not picking up as much echo throughout the room.
I got you.
Yeah. And unfortunately, there's not a good way to do that other than to actually just get in there and do it.
Yeah.
So how are you guys today?
Oh,
not too bad. Not too bad. It's been a lazy day for me. Just
those are fun.
Yeah, done as little as possible. I mean, I went and took my granddaughters to school this morning as usual, but other than that, I've tried to do nothing.
Fair enough. That's a good way to be if you can be.
Yeah. I got, like I told Papa, I got one blog post out and I'm working on a script for the update in the Assange saga because Assange and crap.
Did something else go on with Assange?
Well, they tried to postpone his hearings because he is the 7 weeks that he spent in the British jail. His health has been failing.
Saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the Swedish court is going, no, we're not going to postpone it. He is going to, be present for these hearings, even in absentia. So we're not postponing these things.
Gotcha.
It's like, if the dude can't even, it was this morning. It was supposed to be via internet with a hearing in the U.S. for extradition purposes to start to try and start some hearings in absentia here, but he couldn't even make it to those. That's how bad his health is.
Yeah, I saw that his health was failing him, according to people who watch this stuff.
Yeah.
Which is nice, yeah. They're basically charging a reporter with espionage. Good job, American government. You fuckwads.
Right?
Random. What is it? You're the second one today to try to get someone to get me to say goat thrapple. I know that's Scribe's thing to say.
No, I can explain that.
Okay.
So last night somebody asked him if he could say goat thrapple in a Southern accent.
Oh.
And no matter how hard he tried, he even did this long sentence where he was in character the whole time. But when goat thrapple came up, he couldn't do it. I'm like, I'm going to ask Bloodwing to say it. So say it again.
Goat thrapple.
Yeah, see, the goat doesn't really have it. There's a little bit to the thrapple there, the way you said it.
Yeah.
Goat
thrapple.
I don't think you can say goat in a Southern accent.
Yeah, you can. You just got to get that there goat going.
All right, you just did it. Goat.
Yeah.
Goat, it's goat thrapple. Don't you know it's goat thrapple, monkey?
Nut says no notification. Saw Monkey's tweet out.
Really?
Welcome to YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like they're doing it to me again.
They want us all to succeed.
Yeah.
So it sounds like Scribe's having the opposite problem that I have. I can't do accents or voices, or we were just
you do an accent really good, my friend.
Yeah, that's the only one I can do, though. Even if I try, say, doing a Russian or a British accent, I just sound like a redneck trying to do a British or Russian.
Well, it's like I lived in Georgia when I was 4 years old. My parents moved to Georgia from Miami, and if you ask my mom why, it was to get away from the Cubans, even though we're Cuban. That's the basis of my sense of humor. That's where I get it from. And when I was 8 years old, my grandmother pulled me over to the side, and she said, when people start laughing when you speak in Spanish, they're not laughing with you. They're laughing at you because you sound ridiculous because the Southern accent is in the Spanish.
Gotcha.
You need. Oh, and I'm like, oh, okay. She goes, you really have to separate the two. So people don't know that I can actually speak Southern until I, as one of my friends said, flip the switch, and then you got this Southern belle coming out.
Can y'all hear that typing?
Yeah, but don't worry about it.
This new damn mic, man. It's a great mic, but it is so sensitive.
Picks up everything, huh?
I can't type anymore, damn it.
No, I never could type.
Nico asked me if I got the tweet. No, dude, I was rearranging my room, and by the time I got back, my tweets were fire, as the kids say. It was blowed up.
Oh, what'd you do now?
I made a post telling skeptics to go fuck themselves. I'm tired of them acting like identitarian SJWs.
Yeah.
I'm not here to be part of your fucking cause. If I agree with you, I will tell you I agree with you. If I don't agree with you, I'm going to tell you I don't agree with you. And I'm not going to hate you either way.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which is why from the very beginning, I made it very clear. I am not a skeptic, folks. I'm not.
Well, I don't mind being labeled that, but I just, as I'm watching this, and this actually came about because of somebody talking to Sofane. And they actually said to him, I'm paraphrasing here, but basically people who used to be anti-SJW who've gone to the other side are like irredeemable and deserve public ridicule. I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind? How about arguing with them with points? You know?
Yeah.
How about making a more logical argument and seeing if that works? Just no, fuck them, no, eat me. Sorry, I'm in a mood, man. I'm in pain. I'm in a mood.
Well,
but Nico, I'll try to find it.
Well,
Sorry.
you have a right to be. You have a right to be in a mood. It's all right.
I'm always in a fucking mood, man.
Well, I am too. The grumpy old man thing is not just a shtick on YouTube.
It's you and me,
Trust
man.
me.
It's you and me. I'm gonna cause a little noise here. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm too lazy to mute the
I'm
mic.
glad I heard you do that because that reminded me that I have not taken my medication today.
I should have taken this before I started moving shit.
So excuse me while I take these pills real quick, folks, because I have to take them. Okay, that's out of the way. Now we're done.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. You beat me to it, didn't you?
Yeah, I beat you to it. Oh, and I remembered my iron. I've been remembering my iron pills for the past 3 mornings, mainly because I'm sticking the bottle right next to the computer.
Can I address something in chat there?
Do what?
So can I address chat real fast?
Oh, absolutely.
Brian said, how about Thunderfoot? He really turned into an asshole. Look, if you don't like their personality, cool.
Yeah.
If the only thing that's changed about them is their politics a little bit, and you suddenly don't like them anymore, then you're no better than those people who said, you're not my friend anymore if you voted for Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, Thunderfoot's always been kind of an asshole. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But if you think it's his personality you have a problem with, that's fine. That's different than just, he changed his politics, so he's evil. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't mind watching his science stuff. I just don't agree with his politics.
Yeah.
Damn it. I bring myself because I have to answer this. I'm sorry.
Teresa the kid says, everyone take their meds.
Yeah. Well, it's like it was yesterday or the day before. Ronan had called me, and I told him, I said, I don't know what's going on. I know I slept enough. My sleep wasn't interrupted. It's like I've been up for 2 hours, and I feel like going back to bed. I'm just really sleepy. And then Ronan went, have you been taking your iron pills? He goes, what's one of your symptoms with your anemia? I said, be sleepy a lot. He goes, when was the last time you took your iron pills? And I went, he went,
Yeah, I don't really have to take a lot of meds. I have 3 that I have to take every day. That's not counting my pain medicine, which I try not to take because it makes me goofy. And if I don't really need it, then I don't see any point. So
Night Stargazer, YouTube does not like my main branded account. So since it's still suspended due to, and everybody gets a laugh every time I say this, pornographic and sexual content,
Maddie,
I can't link my main account to Streamlabs, so I don't have one.
What in the world did you do, you naughty girl?
Right? I'm still trying to figure that out myself because I have no clue. I really no clue. Because it's like when they sent me the email, and they've even said, okay, after reviewing your account, we have found out that we are in the wrong, so now you can use your account. No, my main branded account is still suspended no matter how many times I remind them that it's suspended.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but here's my take on it. As far as they were talking about Thunderfoot and this, that, and the other. Look, some of my best friends in real life have been the opposite spectrum of the political spectrum that I am. That's I don't have to have people that think just like I do to be friends with them. Now, if they make a big deal out of it, I can't be friends with you if you're not this or that and the other, then we got a problem. But other than that,
Well, can I ask you a question about that?
Sure.
From my understanding, at least, and granted, this comes from maybe watching movies or hearing about the olden days. We're both old men. You're a little older than me, though.
Yeah.
It seems to me your generation, at least until recently, until this newest crap, you guys could get along better with somebody who did. Politics wasn't the be all end all of everything.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
My grandfather was more likely to hate somebody because they were a Yankees fan than he was because they supported who ran against Ike. I don't even fucking know. But he was more likely to hate somebody for their sports than their politics.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, okay.
Yeah, I mean, truth be told, believe it or not, my dad's a bit of a liberal. So, you know, and you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family, folks.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Except,
I've surprised plenty of people on Twitter when I've been having discussions and they've literally proved me wrong. And instead of continuing to argue from me being wrong, I'll go, all right, I concede you're right about that. And then the next response is always, really? You admitted you're wrong? Okay, respect. I'm like, what? If I continue arguing even though I'm wrong, I look like a freaking idiot. So what's the point?
Thank you, Willingham, for the donation. I don't like how atheist skeptics treat Christians as retarded and refuse to even consider God as a possibility. I have gotten trouble over that. I don't normally get in too many Twitter arguments, but I have gotten a big one over that. It's been some time ago. Yeah, you know, it's okay if you don't agree with how I believe, but don't treat me like I'm stupid because that's how I believe.
Yeah.
I've gone to bat for Christians many times, and I'm not atheist. One, atheists are assholes, and two, I'm agnostic. I am not conceited enough to say I know for sure. And when you come out and say there is no God, then you're saying you know for sure, and there is no way you can. And if when you're sorry, I told you I'm ranty. When you are claiming logic and reason on your side, the only logical answer is agnostic. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is basically saying I'm not sure.
Yeah. It's like I don't believe in any God I've heard about. But I think there's a ton of things great about, especially Christianity. You know, I was watching Roaming Millennial did an interview with Stefan
Molyneux.
I refuse to say his name right. And I watched it out of curiosity because I'm like, God, really? You got in so much trouble last time over this. I think you're asking for it. I think you want attention. I love you, Roaming, but come on.
Yeah.
But
sometimes
he was talking.
I agree with you.
Yeah. But he was talking about Christianity and some of the good that it did. Because, like, if you go back, you know, the 10 Commandments, the Jewish version, thou shalt not kill Jews. Christians were like, no, thou shalt not kill anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's far more inclusive, and truth be told, I find them to be. Now, look, everybody always points to the Westboro Baptist Church. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those are
possible example.
40 assholes. 40. I think the total was the highest they got to was 43.
It's one family. It's one family.
And two of them even left.
Yeah, they're a bunch of assholes, and you can't judge all of Christianity based on those fucking idiots. It's been my experience, at least online, especially. Christians are far more accepting of my fucking views than atheists tend to be.
And yes, functional. Of course, you could apply that logic to people who are religious. That's why I don't debate my religion online. That's not the place for it for me, and it's personal to me. I don't judge you for not believing. I just don't want to be judged because I do.
Yeah.
And there's no reason to. I mean, unless you're actually having a theological argument, there's no fucking reason to. Like, I get so many, because I am fairly conservative, so that I am against abortion. Oh, you're just against abortion because you're a Christian. I'm like, wrong.
No. Actually, my opinions on abortion, and I'm against it too, have nothing to do with my Christianity. Have absolutely nothing to do with it.
It's such a lazy argument.
Yeah. So
lazy. Anyhow, I'm sorry. I'll stop ranting on this. Is your stream? I'm going to shut up and sit in the corner.
No, you're fine. We could use a shake 'em up on this stream every once in a while.
Yeah.
As you could tell by the title of the stream, nothing to rant about yet. I didn't have anything to any idea what I was going to go off on.
boy, did you invite me on the right fucking day. Well, that's not true. You invite me all the time. You caught me on the right fucking day.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Monkey and I have a standing agreement. I send him a link every day there's a stream. If he can make it, he does. If he doesn't, it's all good. He doesn't.
Yeah, most of the time, this is actually my sleep schedule, but I was so tired last night. I actually got some at nighttime, which was interesting. But yeah, usually by the time I get the notice, it's like 7 o'clock at night. Like, well, I missed that one.
Yeah.
I was like, I have the opposite problem. Is like I have friends that like stream at 11 o'clock, midnight, and I'm like, I'm up at 7. I'm asleep by the time you guys even get started. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, now while school is still in session, which we've got next week to go, and then I'm off driving duty for the summer. But while it's in session, I have to be up pretty early to go get them girls because it's a crosstown drive just to go get them. And so yeah, I try to be in bed at a decent hour.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm so bad at noticing my Twitter sometimes. Chaos Eve, you both know her.
Mm-hmm.
And sent me a DM on Twitter, and it took me 2 days to realize that it was there. I answered, I'm so sorry, I didn't see this.
It's like I'm trying to get used to when we finally get the money either for a new computer for me because the one back in the Roach Motel got stolen, or more memory for the laptop so I can go back to doing my Morning Brew news show. The problem with that is, I have to get my body used to getting up early. So I tried at 5 o'clock, and every time the alarm would go off at 5, my brain would go, bitch, you crazy.
Random's asked me if I'm going to return to 7 days. I'm assuming he's talking about your Insatsu streams. I might, once I don't have to go to bed early, but I'm going to have to. I've still yet to test it out on my computer since it's all been settled. The last time I tried it, it was still in beta, and it did not want to run.
7 days. They've I think it was the update before last. They streamlined a ton of stuff to make it run easier.
Yeah. Well, if it will run on my computer, at least, relatively well, then yeah, I might do that since I don't have to be up at a certain time. Thank you, Pumpkin Trucker, for the donation. Monkey needs help sleeping. Have I got a streaming channel for you? Shameless promo.
Look, man, if I can't put myself to sleep, you ain't gonna do it. Have you heard me? I'm falling asleep right now just listening to me.
I've been an insomniac my entire life, ever since I can remember, even as a little kid. And it's mainly because my brain just won't shut down. I lay down and my brain keeps going 100 miles a minute. And even yesterday, I was on Twitter a little bit yesterday morning. And then after that, all I did all day was just listen to music. That's it. Just listen to music all day. And even with that, with nothing really on my mind, just listening to music and calming down, I laid down and there went my brain. Just like, will you shut up?
Yeah. It's like with mine is if I go to bed and I'm tired, all of a sudden, every once in a while, my brain will start running through stories or poems or something to write down or some kind of script. And then it becomes a thing of, do I stay in bed until my brain is shut up, or do I get out of bed and record it down? It always winds up me telling my brain to shut up, even though I should get up, because by morning time, I have forgotten all the crap that was running through my head the night before, which is a curse.
Yeah. I've just, ever since I can remember, I've had trouble sleeping.
I'm still listening. I'm just typing again. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Toasta says, do I ever see the Lord's? Not as much as I would like to or used to. You could used to be able to count on me being there every every night, but then my personal circumstances changed and I just wasn't able to do that. But no, not often anymore.
Sorry, people are annoying me on Twitter.
Oh, no, you're fine. Nico Filipponi, is this a late April Fool's joke about Hillary Clinton being a keynote speaker on cyber security? I don't know. Hadn't heard about that, but that is a little funny.
Oh my God. Okay, let me see. Yeah. I saw you fall for. I responded to a hi. I think I'm real too, but I put that's bait.
I don't care if it's bait. Don't say stupid shit to me.
What did Pretty Boy say now?
Sex work isn't real work.
Okay.
Now you go try it, motherfucker. You go suck dick for a living. Tell me it's not work.
Well, he does have a party mouth.
I'm being horrible today. I'm sorry. Go suck dick for a living. Who says that?
I really tried to give him the benefit of the doubt because I realize he's just very, very, very young. But it's hard sometimes.
Look, you know what? No. This is the problem this is part of the problem with America right now. Is we have this idea that people, they're just young. No. You know what used to happen? Some young guy would say something stupid, and an older guy would go, "Shut up, that's stupid." And that's how they learned they were being stupid. If you just let them go,
saw the back of their hand.
Right. If you just let them go, they never learn that they're being dumb.
Yeah.
So that's how I learned, man. Older guys would go, "Look, you're being stupid. Stop it." And I'd be like, "Am I?" Huh.
Yeah. Absolutely. Of course, I was one of those weird people, and it was weird even back then. You know, I was 14, 15 years old, and I used to love go hang out with the old guys and hear their stories and, you know, hey, give me your wisdom.
I'm just I've always gotten along better with older people.
Yeah.
One of my proudest moments was when somebody told me, when I was 32 at the time. I remember this. He said to me, "You are the oldest 32-year-old I've ever met." I'm like, "Thank you. I appreciate that."
Oh, people used to tell me that all the time. I was just barely in my 20s, and people would say, "You know, you act a whole lot older than you really are." And I'd be like, "Okay, I guess that's a compliment." Thank you.
I like the wise beyond your years one. You are wise beyond your years. Thanks.
I never got wise beyond my years.
No, because your tweet you put out a day or so ago is exactly right. Wisdom does not come with age.
Nope.
It's all the stupid stuff that you should have died doing, but you survived that gives you wisdom.
It's true.
Yeah.
How do you learn not to touch something hot? You touch something hot.
You get burnt. Oh, yeah, here it is. Out of today, out of Business Wire, former U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Rodham Clinton to keynote Fire Eye Cyber Defense Summit.
That's fucking brilliant.
Oh, my God.
Did I get called a wise ass? Many, many, many times.
Yeah. I got called a smart ass a lot.
You obviously don't follow Monkey on Twitter, do you?
My mom started calling me that when I was very young.
First time my mom called me a smart ass, I just looked at her, smiled, and said, "I learned from you," and walked out of the room.
You know, I always knew that I was being a little bit too, my people would have said too big for your britches.
Oh, yes. Oh, I used to get that.
Yeah. The one way I knew that it was if my mom would call me my dad's name. I'm a junior, but if she called me my dad's name, senior, I knew that, I was being a little too big for my britches and better shut up.
I knew I was in trouble if she middle named me.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh.
If I got middle named, I was looking for somewhere to hide.
Because there was a progression, right? It was because mom called me Frankie.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I got Francis, I knew I was pushing it. But if she broke out the middle name, I was like, I'm about to get beat.
I was like, I called Paul. I called my son Boo. Boogie, Boo. And then he would know everything's okay. And then I'd say Paulie, because his name was Paul. And then if I go Paul Steven, oh shit. I literally hear the oh shit.
Thank you, Willie Ham, for the donation. Monkey needs his weed. Hey, dude, I'm telling you, I live in a very red state. It'll probably be one of the last to ever legalize it. But if it does, I'm going to be right there in line to see if it helps with my pain.
Yeah, I don't use it's legal here now, but it's not legal to sell it. They have to write up the rules for, where it can be sold and such.
I got you.
When they legalized medicinal marijuana, it actually took them 2 years to get that set up.
Yeah.
So they just passed this in was it 2018? Yeah. So maybe by 2020. But with mine, I'm not sure how it'll work. Because the problem is my brain is getting weird signals already. And if I fuck up my brain, it could make it 100 times worse.
My daughter, Mama Minnie, just come live with me, Dad. All good.
There you go.
I would, sweetheart, if it weren't for your papa. I'd rather need to be here close to where he's at, because I don't imagine Pop's got too much longer to go. But he might surprise me. He is 80. He's made it that far. So, but yeah, with my mother and my name, I've never said my real name online. So you guys are about to hear something no one's ever heard. Yeah, I have mentioned before that I've gone my whole life by a nickname because I'm a junior. So to differentiate my dad and myself. So they've called me Buddy all my life. It's just not my real name. That's what everybody's called me. And friends and family still call me that. My real name is Gerald. Which I hate because it sounds like some snooty sucker. But I always knew I was in real trouble because it would go in progressions. Mom would holler for me and holler for Buddy. Then next she would holler for Jerry, which is what I went by.
Yeah.
If it got to Gerald, I better find somewhere to hide.
My mom never used my middle name because my middle name was her first name. So it would just be my first and last name. And I knew I was in trouble. And I told her one day why she called me, why she named me. And she goes, well, first of all, your first name was after an actress. And I like that name. Your middle name was because, well, Catholic family, and you were born on St. Martin's Day. So you had to stick that fucker in there somewhere. Her words, not mine. Because otherwise I wouldn't live it down for my mother. She goes, and you better be glad that I took that instead of your mom's idea for you. And I said, what was her idea for my name? She goes, Marta Mercedes. I said, you do realize living in Georgia, I'd be named after a bus line and a car company.
Nice.
Yeah, you got it, Functional. I've never liked my real name and only use it on official documents.
Oh, dude, speaking of names, did you see that clip going around on Twitter about that chick who, over in England, so it's legal, guys, she was 16 and she hooked up with a 44-year-old?
Yes.
Oh, I've heard something about it, but not the whole, no.
Well, if you watch the clip, she's 19 now, he's 47, and they have kids. And the oldest one's name is Tim, and the youngest one's name is Conway. I'm like, you did not do that to your poor children.
Oh, no.
You named your children after Tim Conway, and instead of just doing it with one, you spread it out.
Yeah. Well,
so that the second child got the name Conway. Look, there's only one Conway you can ever be.
Yeah.
And he died. Great singer. No one else could ever have that name or make it work. That's all I'm saying. Tim Conway.
Well,
I'm sorry.
It beats my niece. I've mentioned before, I have a niece that named all her kids after pickup trucks and SUVs.
Oh, dear God.
I'm not kidding. She has a Sierra. She has a Yukon.
Jesus.
I'm not.
Opinionated Scotsman would like me to know it was Wales, not England. Y'all look alike.
I have a friend whose nephew named their kid Grayson Kent. Now, all comic book nerds would know where those two names come from.
Yeah.
And she looked at me the day I come over and she's bitching about that. I said, it could be worse. She goes, what do you mean? I said, you could be Bruce Willis and Demi Moore with 3 girls named Rumor, Scout, and Tallulah Bell, which is the fucking riverboat name. So who calls their kid Rumor, Scout, and Tallulah Bell? Because when I first heard Tallulah Bell, I'm like, oh, it's a new riverboat. No, it's a name for a girl.
Actually, that's very close to what I call one of my granddaughters. All my grandkids have their nicknames that I call them by.
Yeah.
And one of my granddaughters, I call her Lulabelle.
Yeah.
But that's not her real name. That's just what I call her.
Yeah. It's like people get famous and they lose their minds, like North. And what was it? Blue? Is that Beyonce's kid? Blue or some crap like that?
I don't know.
Blue something. I actually done a video on that. Like it may have been the very first video I ever done. Blue Ivy. Ivy. Yeah.
Yep. I went to school with a girl named Precious. That was her name, not her nickname. And a girl named Chiquita. And yeah. Well, she was sweet until you walked by her singing the jingle for the bananas, and then she'd flip on you.
Hey, Bear, you taking a break from your night out, dude? Mama Minnie, my daughter, says that's my youngest. She tells people that's her middle name.
Nice.
No, that's just what Peppo calls her. And while I've said it, I need to. You're home now. Do you want to link, dude? You're more than welcome. We still got about 40 minutes to go.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome. Come in. In the meantime, I'm going to go grab another cup of coffee. I will be right back.
Cool. I'm just over here fucking around on Twitter because that's what I do most of my day.
Yeah, me too. I do that in between, making the content and stuff. And it's like, I'll make videos. And my freaking my blog is over there like, haven't posted anything since the middle of April. I'm like, I really got to start doing that at least once a week. Let me see here. I know I have it around here somewhere. There he is.
Bear says, link me.
I am. I just had to find him.
My nickname as a kid was Hey You. I had many different nicknames. Most of the time, I mean, the whole monkey thing, that's where that came from. I've got so many kids. I named one of my sister's kids. Wow. We had trouble naming our third child because he was unexpected. The oldest daughter, she was, we were young, very young. So she wasn't exactly planned, but we didn't exactly take steps not to have her. And then the middle one was, he was planned. And then the third one was like, shit, we don't even have a name for this one. What are we gonna do? We finally named him. I think we came up with it 2 weeks before he was born. There, my friend. How are you, sir?
What? Hello? What's going on?
Hey, I've got there's 3 cousins of mine. My mom literally had to rein me in with a third kid because one was named Gabriel. I can't remember the name of the last 2, but I swear to God, the 2 boys looked like Eddie Munster without the need for makeup. I'm not kidding. That's exactly what they look like. And then my mom said, my cousin had a girl, my baby girl. We're going to go over there. We're going to have lunch. We're going to, look at the baby. We're going to compliment the baby. She goes, if you have any comments, keep them to yourself until we leave, please. Okay. All right. I'm not going to say anything. So we get there for lunch and we look in the bassinet and, mom's cousin looks at me. She goes, well, what do you think? I said, oh, the baby is so cute. Because, when they're ugly as sin, the only thing that comes out of your mouth is cute, precious, or adorable. 2 viewers that come to mind.
Let me tell you, as the grandfather of 10 and a lover of little kids and babies, there is such a thing as an ugly baby. It does exist. My grandson, the one that I call Bulldozer when he was born, and Mama Minnie will tell you that's the truth, was one ugly little baby when he was born. Thank goodness he grew out of it.
Yeah. It's like we get back in the car after lunch and my mom goes, okay, now, little miss, too much like me. What does the baby look like? I said, I didn't think Eddie Munster could come in female form.
You see, I was a gorgeous baby. The chap with the large round glasses with the beige trench coat told me so. So, hello everybody. I hope you're well.
Doing good. How are you? Did you enjoy yourself?
I bloody well enjoyed the movie. The new Godzilla movie, guys. Go give it a watch. It's well worth it. Well worth the experience.
I haven't seen the last one yet because it hasn't come out on Netflix yet or anything. So
It probably has, and you probably missed it.
I don't know. I looked it up, didn't see it. What was that, Monkey?
I'm not interested in Godzilla.
Oh yeah.
No, big giant monsters don't really interest me. I mean, I saw the trailer and it looks really cool if you're into that kind of stuff, and the special effects looked amazing, but it's big monsters fighting each other.
Well, it's probably for me. It's probably because I grew up on the old Japanese, the really
Rubber
silly
suits.
ones. Yeah, exactly.
Did you like my little hit and run on Twitter before I went?
I don't know.
As I noticed, Monkey's done a thread.
What you did?
What did I do? I
What'd you
did a hit and run. Yeah, I got into it with Mr. Sofane. We're all good, don't worry. There's no drama. He was talking about the concept of anti-SJWs in the community and all that kind of stuff. And we went at it for a bit, and then I typed out a big thread, and Lozar was like, "Bear, you're doing a hit and run right now. You're throwing a debate hand grenade at Twitter and then pissing off to the cinema, as it were." Yeah, that woman. Nah. No, I don't want to drink today. So yeah, Monkey, you did a thread.
Yeah, I was actually annoyed by a comment somebody I don't even know left for Fame, and it's like, fuck this, I'm tired of it. I'm not part of anybody's fucking community because there's too many of them that are just shit. I'll be friends with my friends, and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. It annoys me because I really did. I got hope, and hope is a bitch, man. As I was watching the anti-SJW thing, as it was, in full swing, it's like, finally people are getting it, because they were always calling out identitarian politics,
Right.
It's, yes, that makes no sense. You shouldn't ever do anything. And now they're all becoming fucking identitarians, just right-wing identitarians. Like, good, great. You're a fucking hypocrite and a moron. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly the same here. I mean, when you and I got into it, same time, well, a week apart, actually. And I remember when I first seen a video, and I was like, oh, cool. Finally, somebody that thinks like I do.
Yeah.
That's cool. And now it's like, oh, Jesus.
And the sad thing is if you follow him on Twitter, you've watched the decline.
Oh, see, I don't follow actually many, I'm using the air quotes, anti-SJWs. I mostly follow my friends, but
Yeah, same here.
I follow people who have been, in or out of the community, and see the comments and shit that they get. And it's like, Jesus, fuck you people. The hell is wrong with you? You take this shit so personal because somebody disagreed with you. Fuck off.
Can I read your thread?
Please.
This is from Ranting Monkey on Twitter, everybody. This is fuck it, let's do it. We're doing it live. Some of you folks are depressing the shit out of me. I foolishly thought that the anti-SJW movement was a sign. Well, the thing is, Monkey, is that you confused it for a movement.
It was a movement.
No, it weren't.
Yeah, it were.
No, it weren't.
Don't pull that MGTOW shit with me.
No. First of all, right, you're the fucking level 4 bloody MGTOW monk over there, right?
No, fuck. You know,
Yeah, shut up, you fucking misogynist. It was never a movement, Monkey, ever. It was never,
it
ever.
was.
No, it wasn't. It was just, a loosely, associated group of content creators that had a whole bunch of, subscribers that surrounded them. There was never a movement suggests direction. There was never any direction.
There was.
There was no coordination. There was no direction. There was no leader. There was no.
You don't have to have a leader to have a movement.
Well, you need some kind of structure.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do. It was
No,
never a movement.
A mob is a movement, and that's what it was.
No, the only thing
Yes.
that tied us all together was the fact that we all hated feminists, right? That was it.
No, that should have been it. That should have been it. And what we're seeing is that's not what it was.
Well, it devolved when politics and obviously things like blood sports and shit got in the way, but I'll carry on reading. It was a sign that people were waking up to the reality that identity politics is moronic. I remember anti-SJWs mocking SJWs who dropped their friends because they had voted for Trump. I remember laughing. Yeah, that is true. I remember laughing along as we mocked the video suggesting people should skip Thanksgiving dinner if their parents were going to vote Trump. Yeah, I remember that. But now apparently it's fine to cut people out of your life if they no longer support him. Well, tribalism is a thing, Monkey. It never ends well, I can assure you.
Like I said, I had hope that people were learning. No, people are fucking stupid. Keep going.
It's kind of natural for us to be tribalistic. What in the fuck happened? Don't you remember making fun of this shit? Well, Monkey, you know what happened, dude. Blood sports,
no, I really
invasion, politics.
I really don't.
That's kind of the things that destroyed the genre, as it were.
Video killed the radio star. Sorry.
It was drama and invasion by certain groups. What the fuck happened? Don't you remember making fun of this shit? Don't you remember coming to the defense of Lacey Green? Actually, no, I attacked her when she tried to say that she was becoming red pilled or whatever. I attacked her because I didn't trust her.
Which isn't what she said, but go ahead.
What was that?
She never said she was red pilled.
Well, you know what I mean. Coming over or being more open-minded. When her friends dropped her because she suggested talking to aunties, a lot of you no longer have any fucking room to bitch about identitarian politics. You're doing the same damn thing, which is, yeah, it's true. I'm not sure who you're talking about, though. Some of you motherfuckers need to do some soul searching. I assume this is aimed at consumers of the content, not so much at creators, because the anti-SJW community doesn't exist anymore.
It's aimed at a lot of people. Like I said in my post after I did this, if I had somebody specific in mind, I would have named them. I'm not shy about that.
Yeah,
I know you're not. You're doing the same damn thing. Some of you motherfuckers need to do some soul searching and find some fucking principles. You've become that which you used to claim to hate. Oh, but it's okay when you do it because reasons. Do you even realize it? Are you self-aware at all? Are you so far up your own ass that there is no hope for you? I reject identity politics because it's fucking stupid. And I don't care if it comes from left, right, or center. Do you, or is it just a convenient talking point? I agree and disagree with you on several parts of that, Monkey.
Of course you do. You're such a contrarian.
I'm not a fucking contrarian.
You're a fucking contrarian.
It's not my fault that you're wrong.
Emphasis on the first syllable there, Monkey.
What's that?
Emphasis on the first syllable of that.
No, Bear just likes to tell me I'm a contrarian anytime I disagree with him.
You are a contrarian.
I am not. I just believe
are.
what I believe.
No,
I'm not a contrarian. You're a contrarian. I am not.
He's the contrarian, and he blames it on me.
Oh God, no. He's not. Don't. We're not going to insult Monkey by calling him Waz.
Monkey loves conflict. That's the thing about him. He enjoys it. He lives.
Look.
Right. You were the first content creator to ever, like, especially in our little corner of YouTube, to be like, right, I'm gonna kick the hornet's nest.
And I don't get enough credit for that.
Yeah. No, but it is true.
So you are quite contrarian, as it were.
No, I'm not contrarian. I just have actual beliefs where, unfortunately, in our little
now
genre,
you sound like a hipster.
oh, eat me.
Let me go get you a fucking Starbucks latte, mate. Hold on a sec.
Why is your mom thirsty? Calm down.
I don't even work.
Damn.
My mum's a saint and she loves coffee.
Oh, nice one.
I believe what I believe, and I don't change it based on who I'm talking to. That's not contrarian. That's exactly the principles I'm talking about in that fucking post.
You should, because you're wrong.
Look, I'm wrong a lot. I'm not wrong about that.
Oh God.
We've all been wrong. I mean, I've been wrong once, you know.
No, the anti-SJW community doesn't exist anymore. This is the argument I had with Sophane. I mean, we had to agree to disagree, but like, it's not a community anymore. It's not.
Well, if you ask
there are anti-SJWs, but I don't think that they would label themselves as such, and I personally wouldn't label that content as such either.
Well, according to some people, there never was. There never was a community.
There was.
Wait, no, there wasn't.
Yeah, don't be a contrarian, monkey. Yes, there fucking was.
Well,
They didn't want to admit it was a community, but it was a community because how many times did we come together to help each other out? I mean, I remember the first time I had a problem and all I did was DM a Twitter group saying, if you guys don't see me online for a while, it's because we couldn't pay the internet bill. And the next thing I know, people are doing charity streams for me to help me pay my bills. That's a community, whether they wanted to admit it or not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a community.
When I wanted to raise money for Charlie, everybody came out and helped.
Mm-hmm. Exactly,
dude. It wasn't a community. It was a movement.
It was a movement,
right?
Hey, I had one of those earlier today.
If it's still a community, let's raise money for me to get a plane ticket so I can. Hey, Misa.
Misa, how you doing, sweetheart?
She's being a contrarian shit now as well. Yeah, let's raise me money so I can get a plane ticket so I can go kick Monkey in the shin.
I'm Issa Donovan. And in case you didn't, I know you don't get to check the stream very often. She's actually the last two streams Misa was on.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. She still loves us.
It wasn't the movement, though.
It was.
Is it more of a bowel movement, if anything?
It was a movement. It helped get Trump elected, don't you know?
Well, there are lots of people that take credit for that. You remember the New Right, don't you, Monkey?
Oh yeah.
When they popped up, that they took a lot of credit for it with their subreddit. I forget what the subreddit was called. Was it called the Trump or something, or the Donald?
Oh, I can't remember. I know what you're talking about, but I don't. Dude, my memory really.
I know it got brigaded, and I think it doesn't exist that way. If it does exist, it's not as active as it once was. But yeah, they took credit for that shit. We're to blame for Trump, though, aren't we? Specifically, you, Monkey.
It was my fault.
Yeah,
I'll take the blame. What the heck? I got big shoulders. Because I've went on record many times to say that he's not the worst president that we've ever had. He's not the best that we've ever had either. But
oh no,
he's a long way from the worst. There have been far worse presidents in my lifetime than Donald Trump.
Yeah,
but the problem is you have all these kids who are just out of high school. Like, he's the worst ever. Like, you're a fucking idiot. Shut up. Name me 5 presidents. Do it.
So let me, if you think he's the worst ever, let me introduce you to a certain Georgian peanut farmer.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh God, yeah. We remember him, Mr. Panama Canal himself. Oh.
Nice guy, super nice guy, and still does a lot of good for the community, you know, with Habitats for Humanity and all that.
Sure.
Probably somebody I'd like to sit down and talk with. A super nice guy, but terrible president.
He was a good statesman. He was really good abroad and negotiating and stuff, but here at home he sucked balls, and not in a good way.
Yep. Yeah, so Trump's not the worst we've ever had, folks. Calm down.
Yeah.
For the record, there's no good way to suck balls. Don't do that.
A couple of people have blamed me for that shit, and I always retort the same way. I'm an only kid. I get blamed for shit whether I do it or not, so I'm used to it.
You get blamed for ball sucking?
No, I don't even have to be home when shit happens. It's my fault. I grew up that way. I get blamed for from the littlest shit to like, it's like, oh, it's your fault. Trump got elected. Okay, whatever. Just
fuck.
pile it on.
Lady Monkey's not here, so I decided, to use the tens machine myself, and I'm fucking myself up.
Yeah. Okay, Nays says you have to admit his bait and switch to get elected was classic. Oh, Southern Democrats, sorry. I was lying. I'm not actually racist. Thanks for the votes.
Well played.
Well, it's bad when I heard him say it. I was watching on TV when they had asked Carter what he thought about Obama, and he said, and not these words exactly, but this is what he meant, that Obama was worse than he was.
Yeah, I mean, look, with Carter, and not to keep beating the dead horse, but here you got a president in the White House who's not only famous for being a president, but he's famous because he has a drunk brother with a beer with his name on it.
Billy?
Yeah, Billy. That was a real thing. Billy Beer was real, folks.
Yep.
While he was in office.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, seeing as Misa was giving me loads of shit on the last stream, did you go and watch Sword Art Online Abridged? After giving me tons and tons of flack for not going to watch what you suggested?
Who?
Ball bag.
Oh, Misa?
Yeah.
About? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She said she didn't like Sword Art Online.
Yeah, and I told her she had to watch the abridged.
Nope.
No, of course she fucking didn't. Lozard just called me a jerk. Oh.
He's always calling you that, though, isn't he?
No, he never calls me names. He doesn't get down like that, but he's just not happy that I, in his words, way to throw a debate grenade and then go see a movie. I went,
wait a minute. Is there something going on I don't know about? Cynical Lindsay, monkey, do not put any electrodes near your genitalia.
Don't worry, I don't want to hurt myself that bad. I mean, I'm just using my tens machine, and I keep turning it up a little too high.
I mean, far be it from me to shame anybody for their kinks, but
no, electricity and balls don't go together.
No,
I've never tried it. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I wouldn't try it either.
Well, I don't have to try standing in front of a Greyhound bus to know that it's going to hurt.
Yep.
You can't say that. You don't know.
Yeah.
He already said it. Functional. You missed it.
Sorry.
And apparently I'm the only one that can say goat with a southern accent. So
Goat thrapple.
Goat thrapple.
There you see. There you go.
There you go.
You can record that and play it for Scribe later. Goat thrapple.
Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of getting in the mindset, you know.
You guys are so easily amused, I swear to God.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad. I'm seriously glad, else, I wouldn't have a channel. Hey, knock yourself out. That's going to be my new ringtone.
I got one of my notifications every once in a while. It's really bad timing. It's Colonel O'Neill going, "Oh, for crying out loud."
Pucky Nam Nam says, "Can't you get Bear to say bark and woof?" Well, no, because I don't work for any of these people. They can't make me do anything.
You just did it.
No, I didn't do it in the way that he expects me. How I did it this morning, for example. When
That's
I was
Lord
being...
Bear. That's Lord Bear.
You were.
I did that.
You did that Tuesday. That was hilarious.
On Tuesday, didn't I? Yeah.
Yeah.
Woof. It's a bit difficult to do. But yeah, I did it this morning. I was losing my mind this morning, man.
Why were you losing your mind? I got to catch part of your show.
Yeah, I was streaming this morning, and the dogs started earlier than what they normally do.
Oh, fucking dogs.
Yeah. The smaller one started first from next door, and then the friggin' I forget what breed it is actually. It's called Bismarck anyway, which is offensive for anyone who knows their history. Bloodwing.
What was that? I'm sorry, I was distracted. Say that
My
again.
next door neighbor's dog is called Bismarck.
Okay,
Sink
yeah,
that motherfucker.
German, World War One. Yeah.
Yeah, and what did it sink?
Huh?
What did it sink?
Oh, geez.
HMS Hood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
HMS Hood.
Yeah. It's
What do you say
offensive.
H? Drives me insane.
I said H.
You said H, motherfucker.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hi, Misa.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? It's been ages.
It has been. I'm so glad to hear your voice. It's still as sweet as ever.
Aww. You always know how to make me smile. So what are we talking about?
You being a cretin.
You're a cretin.
Oh,
Mr.
What?
Sword Art Online is such a good anime. I'm such an anime connoisseur. Oh, look at me.
you know, Misa, yeah, we can go down this road.
Oh, we
If
can
you
go
want.
down this road.
Yeah, we
That's
can.
fine by me.
We can. Just watch the abridged version, will you?
How about I don't do that? And how about you watch some good anime? How about that?
Oh my god. What's that one? Mob Psycho? I watched Mob Psycho. Oh,
Because
fuck
Mob Psycho
you.
is actually a good anime.
Monkey and or Bear and Misa about to throw hands.
And we've
Can't-
reached the moment of the stream where we just sit here nodding our heads up and down because we've no idea what they're talking about.
That was offensive, Maddie.
Sorry.
Like, all I'm saying is you cannot say that you enjoy anime and watch stuff like Sword Art Online.
Sword Art
say-
Online abridged.
You said you actually liked Sword Art Online though.
Yeah, I like the original as well, yeah.
Yeah, and this is why I can't trust your opinion on any anime ever.
I said that I had issues with it, especially the second season, as it were.
Everything about the anime is shit.
No, it's all right.
No,
Damn.
everything about the anime is shit.
You know, if you watch any of the anime community creators, they all do this shit. Like, they just make videos about Sword Art Online, slagging everything about it off just to get the views. Like, what you're doing isn't anything new. You're just like every other.
But is the rest of the anime community this toxic? I mean,
Yeah, they're pretty bad. They are pretty bad.
Well,
Bear's
Ben,
just being contrarian.
I'm not trying to impress an audience because I don't have a channel anymore. I'm just giving my honest opinion. I think Sword Art Online is garbage.
Well, you can have that opinion, and
I don't know. And personally, if I'm going to watch a good cartoon, I'm going to go watch Animaniacs. You know.
Oh, Animaniacs.
Animaniacs. I can't remember the lyrics.
Is it me, or because I'm changing this on purpose? Is it me, or can't they just find a picture of asinine occasional cortex that doesn't make her look insane?
I don't know that that's possible because
Have they tried feeding her mints?
Like every picture, it's like she's gone absolutely out of her freaking mind. I mean, every once in a while they find one of Pelosi that's not that bad, but I mean, for the most part, it's no every single picture.
Bloodwing,
like,
take her wrench.
No.
There's some serious hate speech going on.
well, I don't know. I don't know that that's hate speech. Have you had a bath in recent hours?
What?
I'm just giving my opinion, and my opinion is that you smell.
Well, I don't. I had a wonderful shower earlier before going to watch Godzilla.
And you know,
Now I smell like popcorn.
I am a free speech absolutist, so yeah, she has the right to believe that.
She's threatening violence.
How?
No, you are a bit of an elitist, you.
Me?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? No, I'm not.
You should try reading the manga first. Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Such an elitist.
Well,
like
maybe Bear. Maybe if you had better taste in anime, I wouldn't be talking down to you.
Well, we like some of the same anime, me. So like,
Like what?
well, I went through my list the other day. Like, I'm sure you must like some of them. Have you watched Seraph of the End?
No.
I finished that recently. Do you like? Have you watched Dragon Slayer yet?
No.
Oh my god. Berserk movies, the original trilogy of the Berserk movies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
they're pretty sick, dog.
Yes. I've not watched anything after that.
Pretty sick dog.
Her
I
saying dog like that reminds me of when my kid told me I couldn't say gangsta because it doesn't sound right coming out of my mouth.
I saw opinionated Scotsman in the chat there gobbing off. So Scotsman, what do you like to do in your spare time?
I like cock.
Well, really? I didn't know that. What are you up to tonight?
I like cock.
Oh, is that all you have to say? Okay, so I guess you'll be gobbling on them because you
I like cock.
Well, all right then. Well, thank you for coming, opinionated Scotsman. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. Half darky is greater than a quarter. He's at it again.
He's gonna get timed out again, like if he carries on. Got gobbing off in the chat there.
Why?
Shut up, Misa.
I'm just saying, like you.
Why are you even here?
You invited me, you dick.
You left the bloody community. You abandoned us.
Listen.
Listen, community, it's a movement.
Fucking bow movement.
Listen, I got tired of talking about the SJWs, right?
You know when she says that, she's spelling S with an E and two S's, and then J-A-Y, and then it's W, isn't it? D-U-B-Y-A. So edgy. You're as bad as the anti-theists at this point.
I'm not being edgy. I'm just saying I got tired of it. It got boring. It got annoying. And to be honest, I got tired of arguing with SJWs every 2 seconds on Twitter. It was just there.
No, I know. I'm giving you shit. Well, I actually do agree. Oh, dear.
And I called
You like Death Note?
Oh, yeah, Death Note's awesome.
Was not a fan of the live action.
I gotta watch Death Note. I haven't seen it.
It's so good. Oh my god.
It is good, yeah.
Sorry, Blood. Every time me and Barry are here, we just talk about anime. Sorry.
You just take over the screen.
I hadn't noticed.
Anime.
I hadn't noticed.
Did you like Log Horizon if you watched it?
I did the 3-episode rule thing that I usually do with it, and I had mixed feelings, so I didn't continue it.
Yeah, that's a good call, to be honest with you. I had to power through the first season.
It kind of drags a bit.
Yeah, it does. There's not enough meat to it. Oh, but one more thing while we get off anime. No Game, No Life.
I don't like it.
For what reason?
To me, it kind of felt like it was trying to pull off some kind of like intellectual, kind of strategy-esque anime, when in actuality it just kind of felt like number one, a lot of the stuff was predictable, and number two, I feel like the fan service was just so stupid, especially with the little girl. I really hate
Yeah. I couldn't. I physically like jumped out of my chair, like just no.
Yeah.
Okay, back to normal stuff now. Bloodwing, how are you?
I'm doing just fine. Yeah,
I enjoyed Godzilla.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, good.
It's visually stunning, spectacular.
Visually stunning. There you have it, folks. Visually stunning.
I also enjoyed my popcorn.
Do you eat it? Do you eat it with butter or without butter?
We have two choices in our cinemas: salted or sweet, and I had sweet.
We don't get them with butter over here, man.
Well, it's not really butter. It's more or less it's a grease that's butter flavored.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, ours is probably as well. Hey, it was right. It was decent.
I freaking called it. I was only a few months off. It's like Georgia was drowning during the fall and most of the winter. They're in May and they're entering a drought. I'm like, how? I was looking for Noah from November to March. Seriously.
Yeah, I mean it's sure rained more than its share here where I live lately.
Yeah, it's like my mom called me yesterday, and she said that she goes, "Do you have an espresso machine or a Keurig machine yet?" I went, "No." She goes, "Your father went gadget shopping and he found a 3-in-1 coffee maker, so now we have appliances that are useless."
And by the way, how's that coffee maker working for you? Because I'm pretty sure it's the same one I got.
Yeah, it's working like an absolute charm. As a matter of fact, the same day it came in and we cleaned it out and stuff, I got to actually figure out how to program it so that it would make coffee for him the next morning so he could grab his cup and go.
Yep.
So, absolutely perfect.
Yep, I got no complaints with mine.
The good coffee maker is. Oh, I was last night. Sarah Lee came over and we watched a few episodes of My Strange Addiction.
I do like that show.
I have one thing to say. Why would you want to put coffee up your butt?
Why wouldn't you?
Literally, they're like addicted to coffee enemas, and they're like, "Oh, we have this, this feeling, this rush of euphoria. That's the caffeine, dumbass. That's directly in your bloodstream right now."
Yeah, I prefer my coffee very much like I prefer my thermometers. That's orally instead of anally.
Yes, exactly. Me too. And it's like there was that one, and then the guy that was literally in love with his pool inflatables. He'd hug them, he'd kiss them, he'd go to bed with them. He wouldn't, and I'm like, what? Does he screw them? No, he doesn't screw them. That was admitted. And then when he admitted to his friend what his addiction was, he didn't say, "I hug and kiss my inflatables." He said, "I'm intimate with my inflatables." And the look on his friend's face was priceless. Because it was like, what?
I see Miss Misa Rants has followed me on Instagram.
You popped up in my recommended.
Okay. Oh, I Hate Everything's on here. Follow I Hate Everything.
Don't do it, Misa. It's
follow
a trap.
me back, you nerd.
Don't do it, Misa. It's a trap.
Is Blue Exorcist any good? Is it called Blue Exorcist? I'm sure it's called Blue Exorcist.
The manga's good, but that's only because they did that annoying thing where they end the anime before the manga's done. So they made up their own ending, so it was a bit shit.
Okay, folks, we've got a little over about 6 minutes left of the stream, so now would be a good time to open it up for questions.
Yeah. How was the stream, Blood, without my glorious presence?
It was tough going, but somehow we soldiered through there.
Well, I'm glad. I know it's tough without me here. And
no, all joking aside, thankfully, Maddie had pity on a poor procrastinating old man because I didn't ask her until right before the stream.
Well, I did say that Maddie would be there. Like,
yeah. But you told me yesterday, and I waited till just right before the stream to ask her. And then Monkey was able to show up a little later. So yeah. So yeah, it all worked out. It's all good.
Misa asks in the chat there, not sure who that is. Bear, question. Can you follow me back on Instagram? Well, I don't know about that. I mean, it's kind of like how a creator kind of sets up a Twitter account. Like you need way more followers than what you do following, otherwise you don't look cool. I learned that from Keemstar.
But Bear, I need clout.
What? No, you don't.
I do. My Instagram is all I have now, man. I need that clout. I need that sweet clout.
Oh, I keep seeing that, by the way. I mean, no, we're not talking about anime. We're talking about the rest of YouTube and the commentary genre. Oh my God. What a bad fucking argument I've seen used against people. Oh, you're just doing this you're just clout chasing.
Clout chaser.
Oh my God. Have any of you guys seen that on Twitter before? Like with the other parts of YouTube? Oh my God. I thought we were bad.
No one sounds only doing that because they're clout chasing. Like, oh my
Some
god.
of them are.
I don't know. Is it me? But when I heard that, I was thinking chicken chaser.
Hey, I hear the word clout and I think of minge. I'll follow you back, Misa.
Yay!
But first, you have to become a patron.
You know, like
Yeah, I'm not a cloud chaser. I'm a what was I called today by that guy on my community
Whore.
tab? Oh yeah, I was called a whore. Yeah.
But Bear, I've seen you dressed as a nurse, aren't you?
That doesn't make me a whore. That makes me a medical whore.
Not all nurses are whores, man.
He said, "Get a job, you wanker." Begging for $sign like a common street whore. That's it. I'm a street whore.
Oh,
What?
you're a dirty whore then.
I'm like Aladdin, except for instead of street rat, I'm a street whore.
I'm sorry, Bear, but I have to disagree. You know, you are at least a little more handsome than judging by the street whores in my neighborhood.
Well, you know,
If they got teeth, you got to pay extra. You know.
well, you pay for what you get. You know.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you pay extra for no teeth?
Well, that might be it. I don't know. I wouldn't know because I've never bought one. Just seen them out there.
I just feel like that's more advantageous to what you're going to be doing.
Probably so. Yeah.
At least street whores go outside. I went outside today for like 4 hours. That's a world record for me. I did my grocery shop this morning. I went to Morrison's, yeah, and that was like an hour outside. And then I went to the Stow to get some Siggy Wiggy Doodahs, and then I went to the bloody cinema. So, fuck you.
Yeah, but weren't the only times you were outside was from your car to wherever you were going?
But I didn't drive to the cinema.
Oh, I forget. You British people don't drive.
I do drive. My brother-in-law was driving. He was like, "I really want to go see it." I said, "I'll go with you."
Well, then from your brother-in-law's car to the cinema, for Pete's sake.
It was still outside. It wasn't in the house, which is what's important here. Oh my god, I shouldn't have bothered coming on. Get fucking bullied today.
Stop being a contrarian.
I'm not being a contrarian. I've got principles, monkey. Yeah. Let's have a look at this filthy Instagram.
Well,
Yeah,
now
but
they're
Looks
on
like
you.
a fucking narcissist.
Now they're on you, Bear. RJ Bansman wants you to say goat thrapple.
Who?
You.
Why?
I don't know. Ask
Look
them.
how accusatory you were. Why?
I demand to know why.
He
It's
sounds
conspiracy.
So defensive. Right?
Brits drive, they just drive on the correct side of the road. I know, right, Lindsay? I know.
We invented roads. They're
No,
on the
you
wrong
didn't.
side.
We had roads before you did.
Shh, just
Shut
let it
up.
happen.
No, not letting it happen. That's right.
No, the Romans had roads before.
Yeah, and the
we
Romans
Nope.
invaded us and built
Look.
roads.
America invented roads. That is science.
Don't tell me to let it happen, Lindsay. It's not the same when it comes. When it comes from a woman, it's just not like it doesn't have the same oomph to it. Not the same bite.
It does remind me of what I feel is the best explanation of the differences between the UK and the United States. You know,
Freedom, baby.
well, besides that, Britain is somewhere where they think 100 miles is a long way, and America thinks 100 years is a long time. So that's the difference.
It's a good way of putting it. To be fair, though, like 100 miles in British distance is ridiculous. Like,
That's a day trip. That's
Yeah.
an easy day trip.
not on our roads, it ain't. At least you've got room to bloody move with your big motorways.
FC260 says, will you be watching any of the E3 platform? I might. I don't know.
It's funny. I just told Lozar on Twitter that the Godzilla movie was good. So he said so. It had a diverse cast and talks about the Green New Deal. You know, it's funny he says that because kinda actually.
Of course it does.
Kinda does actually. It has a diverse, very very diverse cast actually. And there was of course talk of pollution and climate change in it as well. So.
Well, I mean, that
Monkey,
still kind of goes with Godzilla's origin
Yeah, I know.
story. So,
Yeah.
What's up? Why'd you talk to me?
Nuts says that you need to make mugs for your merch so that she can buy them.
Oh yeah. Do I not have any up anymore? I will have to.
I haven't got into making merch yet. I keep telling myself I'm gonna do it, but I just never have got around to it.
I've got to get off my lazy ass and because I asked a couple of people how they would like me to make merch with some of my own coffee phrases on there, and they said they'd like to see it. And every time I open up GIMP, I'm like, I'm not in the mood.
If I do it, I will have to use the avatar that I currently use in videos, because this one that's showing on this stream actually comes from a coffee cup.
Well, surely Bloodwing's merchandise is propane and AstroTurf. Like, I can't see you selling anything else. I can't imagine you selling anything else.
Well,
Anyway.
you think I work at the local feed store?
It's just what I think about you, dude. I just imagine you selling good quality propane tanks.
No, actually, the only thing that I've sold, well, it's not the only thing I've sold, but the last thing I sold were vehicles, cars, and I was darn good at it.
I know. You told me.
Yeah.
So
at any rate, we are a little past time, which is okay since we had some late entries to the stream.
Sorry. That was.
No. You're perfectly welcome. Absolutely welcome. But I do try to keep this stream to 2 hours. There's no format, but there is a time limit, because I kind of feel like after 2 hours we start to listen to each other breathe, which is not entertaining for anybody. But anyway, thank you, chat, for coming out and supporting me with your presence and your views and your likes and all of that stuff. And thank you for those that have donated. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Thank you, Maddie, for helping me out today in a tight pinch.
Anytime.
Anything you want to shill?
Oh, I do have that new blog post that came out today that I'm going to put in the chat as soon as this thing. Let me see. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. All right, there it is. It is a blog post about how Netflix said they were going to stop filming in Georgia if Georgia didn't overturn their abortion law. But Hastings has contributed over $140,000 to 73 different Republican legislators in Missouri who voted for their abortion bill. So that's what that blog post is about.
There's been
With
some
my
controversy in my state over the abortion bill too. So
yeah, I've gotten to the point where since I'm reading the bills, the reading and breaking down of the bills are going to be on the channel, and any updates, like any contesting of any of the laws or any updates for the contestations, are going to be on the blog. So that's the way I'm splitting it up.
Hey, functional. I may be easy, but I'm not cheap. Okay. Right? You understand? Thank you, Monkey, for taking time out of your busy day to come hang out with us. Anything you
no
want
problem, man. We're just on Lords of the Night tonight on Satsu's channel. Come watch.
There you go. Simple, straight to the point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a simple man.
Simple
I like that contrarian fuck over there.
And speaking of, thank you, Bear, for coming in after your night out. Anything you want to shout out?
It wasn't a night out. Like, it's just going to watch a bloody movie. It's not
That's a night out, dude.
No, well, I guess for me it is. Yeah,
it would be for me.
You can tell I'm getting old as well, because as soon as the trailer started playing, I was like, "Turn that down." I released a video 2 days ago on Irate Alex, a brand new series I need to desperately rename. Go watch it. Go watch it.
And Misa, as always, you're always welcome. Later, never. You know,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Anything that I know you're out of the game, but I give everybody else room. Anything you want to give a shout?
Maybe just my Instagram. Miss
Don't
Misa
do
Rant.
it.
Do it.
No.
There you go.
I need the clout.
Follow me on Instagram. I need the clout more.
Anyway, thank everybody for showing up again. And before I leave, I want to point something out. I never had a bathroom break. I went for coffee, but I didn't go to the bathroom. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Somebody fill the floor because it's got to be getting cold. Anyway, thanks everybody again for coming out. And as always, get out of my yard.
Bye.